Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to our Nationals parent meeting. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Make sure that if you want to be able to ask questions, you need to have access to the chat. So make sure that you're logged into your Utah app or your YouTube app or your Google profile. All right, so this year, Hollywood Invitational is in San Diego. It's the week after July 4th. We're going to talk about the hotel in just a second. Keep in mind, if your dancer is attending on scholarship, they are required to stay at the host hotel. And that is at the Town and Country Resort. Go ahead and take a look at those prices. If you want to book direct, like through the room block, you can access the link that's on the Hollywood Vibe website.
I do know that the main hotel is already sold out of the room block, so you'll want to look at the Overflow Hotel.
All right, so this is what we're going to be covering. We'll go over how classes work at Nationals. There's a lot of cash to win at Nationals, what makes it pretty exciting. We'll go over the Dancer of the Year competition, the Battle of the Stars competition. We'll talk a little bit about what LA agency auditions are, along with other casting opportunities. And we'll go over the gala that's at the end of the week.
Okay, Dancer of the Year. I'm sure all of you have heard about this. This is a national competition where dancers can compete to be basically the best, the Dancer of the Year. It's for each age group. So there's mini, junior, preteen, teen, and senior. In order to be eligible for this portion of the competition, you have to have received a Team Vibe scholarship, a I Am the Jam scholarship. You are a current company member for either DJ company or Vibe company, or you could also be eligible by receiving a regional scholarship from either Vibe or Jams.
And this is our cute Alexi. She is the reigning Dancer of the Year for Jams Juniors. Holla. So what do you do in the Dancer of the Year competition? So dancers must compete in the Doty solo competition. They can also compete in the national solo competition, but they are not required to. In the Doty competition, it's ran like a normal solo competition. However, there's no adjudication and there's no awards. And they'll take this score, and that will be 33% of their entire score when they are considering Doty. The other 2/3 would be their class, the way they take class, and then
Their audition.
their Doty audition. Right.
They'll do a class just for their Doty audition, where they go in and it's ran just like a convention-style audition class.
This is the number one question I get asked about Doty is, what solo should they do? Do we need to learn a new solo? Should we do 2 solos? So this is my opinion. They only need one. So if you feel fantastic about one strong solo, you can absolutely enter that in for the Doty solo competition. That score will just go towards Dancer of the Year. And the same solo for the national solo competition. The national solo competition does get adjudicated and it does do awards. So sometimes it's fun for them to be part of that, especially if they're a company member and they haven't really been able to compete all year long. That's something fun that they get to do. It is a different panel of judges. So don't be worried that they're going to see the same solo both days. If they do see the same solo both days, they're not going to hold that against you.
Yep.
If they've seen your solo at previous cities, they're not going to hold that against you as well. If you have a really strong solo and then you're like, oh, maybe I want to put another one together for nationals. Nationals is the first place they competed at, and then you keep that solo for the remaining of the following season. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good use of resources and your time. To just do one for nationals only, I think that's super stressful for a kid and is not necessary unless you're going to keep it.
I agree.
Okay. Let's see, did I cover everything?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so you will have a fee to compete for Doty. That entrance fee is $480. That will cover your solo fee. It will cover your performance attire. The dancers going for Doty perform in the gala. They learn a routine. You'll learn that from video before going to nationals, and then it gets rehearsed and staged at nationals. It'll include your costuming. It will include one general admission gala ticket for the dancer. You'll have the ability to upgrade that gala ticket so that they can sit with you and have dinner and stuff. It's not necessary, but a lot of parents do it. And any performance awards are not applicable for
Right,
that
so if
fee.
you got if you want a free solo, you can't put your free solo towards Dancer of the Year. You could put it towards your national solo competition.
Yeah, so just so we're clear, it's two separate things. Doty competition and national solo competition are two separate events.
If you have any questions about anything while we get going along, just drop it in the chat and we will get to it. And this is Miss Hensley. Oh, I forgot. This is Miss Macy. She's our current JAMS preteen. And this is Miss Hensley, and she is the current Vibe preteen Doty. Here is a breakdown of the schedule. So July 5th, and this is tentative. It could change, but this is what they have on their website. This is where we'll do the Doty solo competition.
And the company rehearsals. July 5th is July 6th is the
I think
Doty competition.
I think they'll start the Doty competition also on the 5th.
It doesn't say that on the schedule.
Okay.
And it didn't last year. It was
Okay.
just company rehearsals that first day. On
Okay.
July 5th.
So all company rehearsals. I would if you're doing Doty,
Still
I
arrive
would
July
still.
5th.
I mean, you're gonna have to be there anyway.
Yeah.
But the big Doty competition, the solo competition, will be on July 6th. And you'll also have rehearsals that day. And you'll be rehearsing material, like Megan mentioned, that has been sent to you previously. So you'll get videos a few weeks before nationals, and the dancers will have to study them, learn them on their own. So when they show up to nationals, they will just be staged and then they rehearse as a group, but they are not to be taught the choreography at nationals. So they need to make sure that they show up prepared.
Okay, and then July 7th, the regular national solo competition will be held. July 8th, we'll have a half day of classes and group competitions will start. We don't know which groups are which day, which ages, anything until the schedule comes out. So if you are not planning to do a solo and you're not planning to do Doty, please still arrive by July 7th. You'll have half day of classes on July 8th and group competitions. So plan for an early morning, July 8th.
Then the following days, July 9th, it'll be classes, group competition. July 10th, classes, group competition. And then the final day, we'll just have a few classes in the morning, and then we go into the gala. Minis will have 3 half days of classes. They did not say which 3 days. So I would plan on being there for July 8th as well.
Yep.
Oh, it looks like we had a
Okay, we
question.
do have a question. Just to make sure I'm understanding, the only way to be eligible for Doty is you have to receive a scholarship at Vibe or JAMS. Yes, you have to either receive an I Am the Jam scholarship, a Team Vibe scholarship, or a regional city scholarship. So it's not just any scholarship, because they do a variety of scholarships. It has to be one of those 3 in order to go for Doty. One more question. Do they have to compete their solo at previous comps in order to be eligible? No. You don't have to pre-qualify for the regular solo competition.
And anybody who wants to do their solo at nationals will be able to do it. And we'll go over that a little bit more later.
Okay, I think that covers this slide.
So for the gala, well, I think that does
get-
cover this. We'll talk about.
We have
later.
one more question.
Alright.
Should we do that first?
Sure.
Okay, so if we aren't doing Doty or National Solo, we can get there July 7th. Yes. So July 8th will be the big start of everything. July 8th will have classes and group competition. As I said, we don't know which groups, so it's possible you won't compete till July 9th, but you will have classes July 8th. So yes, arrive July 7th,
It's a good plan.
sleep, wake up the next morning ready to go.
All right, so as we were saying, anyone can compete a solo in the National Solo Competition. It does not have to have been competed at any regional events. Anyone can do a duo or a trio as well, and we threw the prices up there so that if you're interested, you can start planning for that. If you want to register your solo, you must register on time, and please be nice, be kind. Don't make 500 changes to
The
to
more
your
changes you
registration.
make, the more mistakes are most likely going to be made. We'll
Yeah.
just say that.
We won't run out of space for solo, so you don't have to even hurry up and register. You can take your time, know exactly what you want to do, and then register. The due date is May 1st, so it's after Vibe. We did that intentionally so that people can decide based on what scholarships that they get, what they want to do at nationals.
Yep, the registration for nationals opens tomorrow, but like we said, no rush. Just get it in before May 1st.
If you decide to drop after your registration is complete, you will lose your $100 deposit. All right.
Yep.
Moving on. Okay, national add-ons. This is why you might want to wait until you go to Vibe. When you go to register for nationals, there's a few add-ons that you can do. One is the company audition, and that's usually $10. I haven't been able to find a price for it this year, but it'll be close to that, if not $10. And that is for dancers who have gotten which scholarships?
Team Vibe or I Am the Jam.
Okay.
Only those two scholarships can audition for a company. And you have to audition for the prospective company you received the scholarship for. If you received a Team Vibe and an I Am the Jam, you can audition for both companies. But if you only received one or the other, you can only audition for that company.
Right. So if Vibe gave you the scholarship, you're auditioning for Vibe Company. That makes sense. LA Agency. Usually there's no fee for this. I don't expect it to be different this year, but you just never know. This is another award that's given to dancers at convention, and they will get to take their own class in front of many talent agents, and they will select one winner who will get signed with the talent agency. However, even if you're not the winner, you may still be signed by a talent agency. And we've had that in the past where we've had a dancer audition, wasn't the main winner, but still got signed. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. This is a very selective award that can be handed out at conventions. I would say on average there's 10 to 15 handed out per city. So it's very prestigious, and we always say take advantage of that opportunity if you get it.
In the gala, the dancers of the year, the top 3 from each age groups will be announced. Maybe I'll wait and we'll talk about this about Battle of the Stars. I'm getting
Yeah.
ahead of myself. Okay. So as far as the gala tickets, dancers don't need a ticket.
If you're in the gala. So like if you have a sibling that's not going for Doty and doesn't potentially have a they'll need a ticket.
Right.
So
So dancers dancing in the gala don't need a ticket.
I think if they're bots, they still have to get a ticket. I think it's just Doties that don't.
I pulled this straight from the website.
Well, that's good. 'Cause I think last year they had to, because they had to stay out in the hall if they didn't have a ticket.
Well, it says dancers in the gala don't need. I took this
Okay.
straight from the website. So
Okay. Hopefully
it's the same.
It's the same.
Hopefully. Okay, let's talk about Battle of the Stars. So this will be where the top 10 dancers of each age group are whittled down to the top 5 and then to the top 3. So they get announced and then they essentially dance off. Now, if they're minis, they will be performing their solo. Is it 1 minute?
This is the Battle of the Stars. So the group numbers.
I
Right?
think that's
We're going to do
it's-
all of it.
It's in there,
Okay.
right? Aren't they? Yeah, they compete there, and then they're announced at the gala. They don't.
Oh,
They
yeah,
don't dance.
They
off
do
at
it
the
like
gala.
the day,
Yeah,
the morning.
they
of.
do it at the Battle of the Stars.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is the Battle of the Stars slide.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Thought we
why
were
we're.
talking
That's
about
why
the
we're
gala.
talking about it. Okay, so at the Battle of the Stars, this is where the dancers will dance off for Dancer of the Year. It is announced at the gala. However, they'll have to be. They need a plan to be at the Battle of the Stars as well. Also at the Battle of the Stars, they will select one routine from each age group. They'll do several routines that will dance off together in the Battle of Stars, and from there they will select one group from each age group. So you have to make sure that you are ready to compete again on the day of Battle of the Stars.
Which is the day of the gala. It's
Typically just
separate
in the
from
morning.
the gala.
It's
Yes.
usually just, sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's literally right before the gala.
Yep.
That's why it gets kind of confusing. You're like, is it the Battle of the Stars or the gala? Because sometimes
And
there's like a 1 hour intermission between the two.
Yeah, and we don't know that schedule until that morning. So make sure you plan to stay for the gala no matter what, and make sure you keep your costumes ready all the way till that last day. So if you are planning to leave after classes that last day, do not. You need to stay that night.
Right, yeah. You do not need to buy it, like parents do not need to buy a ticket to the gala because they are kind of pricey. If you are just willing to hang out in the hallway and watch, you could also buy a general admission ticket, which kind of just gets you into the back of the room so that you could watch. They do sell out, so that's something that you can't really wait and decide on site. When we send out the link for the gala tickets, which it's going to be in months from now, you want to make sure you get that ticket fast because those will go very quickly.
Yeah, I would recommend just getting one, and if you end up not needing it, you can completely sell it there because people
That's
will be
true.
wanting one that did not get one. So I would just get one.
Yeah, that's
Just get a general admission, and if you want to sell it, you'll be able to.
All right, any questions about Battle of the Stars versus the gala? One is just the competition and the other one are the announcements. The gala's fun. You like dress up, you take pictures on the red carpet. It's pretty fun. Let's see. Okay, so pro routines are already included in fees. If you are looking to add nationals, here's the rates if you would like to do that. If you have a scholarship, if you earn a scholarship in Vibe, you need to turn around and upload that immediately, only if you want to use it. You know, if you don't want to use it, you just want to pay full price, then you can definitely miss the deadline. But be kind because there is a lot, as you can see, that goes into nationals, and when people change things 500 times, it's not going to be correct.
Okay, we have two questions.
Okay.
They're similar. If your dancer does Doty, do you need to buy a ticket to the gala since they are in it? You do, your dancer does not. So if you have a 6 or 7-year-old, I'm just going off of who's asking the question, and you want to be able to be with them there at the gala, you must buy a ticket. So it's only the dancer that doesn't need one, not the family or the parent. Along the same lines, do we need to buy a gala ticket if they aren't in the gala? If your dancer's not in the gala? No. I mean, it's fun to go to and things like that, and they have usually like they put on a really great show. Like there's usually a great keynote speaker, and they have like some music artists and things like that. But no, if your dancer isn't in the gala, you don't need to buy a ticket. And even if your dancer is in the Battle of the Stars, they're not re-performing at the gala. They're just accepting the award there. So even in that instance, you don't need one.
Yeah, but that would be so sad. Like you're in
Not
the Battle
see.
of the Stars, your group gets selected as the winner, and you don't have a ticket to the gala.
Yeah, you don't
That's
get to
sad.
see it.
Just clapping out in the hallway.
So
Deadlines. We will close on May 1st. We have our own deadlines that Vibe has given us. So we need you to meet your deadline so that we can meet ours.
We cannot take late submissions. We will not run out of solo space. Be sure that you make sure you do it correctly. Make sure you have all the things you want. We would love to not have lots of changes. Okay. So the question is, can you clarify what add nationals means on this slide? Yes. So if you are not in any pro routines, if your dancer's only in regional numbers, nationals is not included in your current fees. So if I have a dancer and all of their routines are regional routines, but I still would like to go to nationals, take those classes, maybe use my scholarship I receive, compete my solo, you can still add nationals. You will just not have any routines to compete at nationals. You will just be adding as a dancer and soloist from Synergy.
I think our follow-up question was, is that for solos? I think you answered it.
Yes. Yep.
All right, I think that is it. So we'll hang out here for another couple of minutes, and if you have any last minute questions, pop those into the chat and we will answer them. Otherwise, we're just gonna look at our cute faces for a minute.
I think I got all the questions right. So dates, yeah. Are we taking all pro routines? Yes. When we submitted all the stuff at auditions asking who wanted pro routines, at that time it was stated that all pro routines would go to nationals. So all dancers in pro routines are registered and expected to be at nationals. Next question. Does the national schedule come out a little earlier than we usually get the regional schedules? It honestly just depends.
I don't know.
We're
We're not in charge of that.
I will say it's about the same. Like we will get stuff, but yeah, it's like 1 to 2 weeks. We usually get it about 2 weeks before, but then we have to go through and submit any changes. Then they have to do the finalization, and then that's when we release it. So yeah, 1 to 2 weeks. That's about what we get.
Do you want to know why they don't give them out till like so close to the event? It's because parents change their mind 5,000 times.
So
I'm so sorry.
They wait till
That's
the
why.
last minute to get it out,
Yeah.
because if not, it's just wrong anyways, and then they have to fix it. So they really try to push it right till the end. But you do have to be there for classes already the same days as competitions. So I honestly, the schedule being out 1 to 2 weeks before isn't really that big a deal, because you're gonna have to be there already for classes. So yeah. All right, the next question is, does Synergy go to nationals every year? We do not. We go every other, well, we do go every year, but we only take routines every other year.
So next year we will do nationals and we just kind of open it up. So we'll do the invitational. Some people might want to go to NRG nationals. Some people might want to go to streets. Last year we had people do all of those. Some people might want to go to Orlando. So that will be up to you, which is kind of nice because sometimes we bring a lot of competition with us. So it's nice to kind of go out and do your own thing. So we're on an every other year rotation for sure.
Someone has a comment just saying, thank you for sending out the detailed email so far in advance with rehearsal schedules and intensive schedules. You're welcome. That's Shannon. Next question. Did you say when the email will go out about gala tickets being on sale? Honestly, they send it to us at the same time we send it out to you. I think last year it was a week prior. In previous years, it's been, I mean, it's always all over, to be honest. But we really will send it out, post about it so everyone knows when it goes.
And we'll get a notification that says, hey, just so you know, on Monday, you're going to be able to do your gala tickets.
Yeah.
So you can plan.
Yep. We'll get the information as soon as we get it, but it's not specified anywhere.
Another thing we're not in charge of.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Gotta read it. There's two here.
Can you talk about what to do if there is a potential conflict for one of the national practice days? I'm not sure why one is in quotes. I am expecting that June is a travel month for people. So we are doing 3 weeks so that if your dancer misses one rehearsal, it shouldn't be the end of the world. And we're not learning and cleaning at this point. We're really in the maintenance phase. So I think it's going to work out. However, sorry.
No, you're good.
If you are going to miss more than one day, please let me know because I want to plan ahead for that.
Okay, are the intensive schedules in the email separate from the intensive for regular team and company auditions? Don't super understand the question. Let me read it one more time. Are they intensive schedules in the email separate from the intensive for regular? So company and team auditions are completely different from intensives. So we'll have, in May, we'll have a workshop week followed by our audition week. And then intensives do not start until June. So 2 separate things. I'm not quite sure what, if you want to clarify in your question. Do you want, or do you know what that? Is that
Based on audition results, you have intensive weeks, and those are the only intensive weeks that there are. So
it'll be just like last year. So other than we're throwing in nationals rehearsals.
if you are just joining us or didn't catch the whole meeting, you'll be able to rewatch this. You won't be able to look at the chat, so that's why we're reading out the questions. But if you also have another question after this live stream is over, please contact the office. Email in your question. We'll get that answered for you. All right, I think we are going to sign off. So if you have any last minute questions,